Hey guys, so I can't believe 2025 is officially at its end. Today is now December 31st as I'm recording this, and I am so thankful that this year has come to an end. 2025 was a truly remarkable year for me. I'm really grateful. A lot of things to just be rejoicing about. A lot of good things would have come to pass for me, and a lot of things I've been working on for years were able to bear fruit in this 2025. So I'm really grateful for this year of 2025. And as I have done with the podcast of 5 years to 40, I like to come on and just share some of the things that really stood out for me, that helped me to grow, helped me to um get deeper with my self-discovery and self-awareness, and just served as key as reminders. So these are my key takeaways for the year of 2025. My name is Anisha Jones. I am a certified transformational coach, and I am your chief joy officer, as I like to call it. I am certified in positive psychology. But my core work is to help women who are navigating the years of midlife. That's people who are 40 and older. I like to work with women who in that key area of life to help them to recognize that your midlife is actually some of the most powerful and meaningful years. The work that I do to help women in midlife to feel grounded, to feel supported, to help them to recognize that midlife is not a time for crisis, it is a time for clarity. All right, so let's get into what I would have learned this year. I always start my year off with a word to be used as a guide. And this year, my word was intention. And it really flowed from my of 2024, which was alignment. And I'm telling you, 2024, a lot of things, amazing things were aligned for me. But what I recognized is the greater the intention, the more alignment came. So I used the word intention, and it really helped me to zoom and get laser focused on the things that I wanted to be aligned with and the things I wanted to create in my life, to create results, like positive results in my life. And that did serve me. So with this intention and alignment, these are the things I was able to shine some light on. Number one, accountability. Accountability served me very well in 2025. In terms of me achieving my goals, I was able to recognize that when it comes to me achieving anything, I am the one responsible for it. Yes, I will get help, but I'm responsible for asking for help. I couldn't sit around and say, well, I really want to achieve this thing, and this person knows how to do it. They should help me. They should mention me. They should, put me, give me a forward. I recognize that taking accountability for my life, taking accountability for the things that I envisioned for myself meant that I had to get up and do the things that I wanted to do. So it meant creating systems that supported me to achieve these goals. And I was able to do that. It meant networking, reaching out to people, asking questions from the right people, being open to learn, and that served me so well. It also helped me in terms of my self-awareness and self-perception. I recognize that people always seem to have a whole lot to say about who you are. And really and truly, I could not control what other people were saying about me. So I had to take accountability for that, recognizing that it's not my job to manage how people see me. It's my job to manage how people treated me. So you could not like me, that's fine. You could not like how I say things or do things or operate, walk, talk, look, whatever, on you. But I had the responsibility to make sure that your perception did not keep me out of the rooms that I need to be in, didn't rob me from opportunities, because there's some people who just decide that is their job, that is their responsibility to be a roadblock, and that's fine. But my responsibility was to make sure that if there was a roadblock, I would find a workaround. I would recognize that everything is figure outable, and I couldn't sit back and say, oh, these things keep happening to me, and I keep getting blocked, and people keep turning away from me, and opportunities are not coming to me. My job was to get up and make it happen for myself. And I had to take accountability for that. And that was very useful and powerful for me in 2025. Second thing was knowing who I am. So important. You gotta know who you are. The lady in Wakanda, I can't believe I forgot her name right now. That. You know the mom in Wakanda? Know who you are. I had a lot of opportunities to remind myself of who I am over and over again in 2025. It was my identity, sense of identity was my greatest defense against self-doubt because in 2025 I was able to do a number of things, including having my now annual empowerment breakfast all aglow. And there were times when in planning for the event and preparing for it, there was a lot of things that were not going according to plan. And I was like, oh my gosh, should I just stop? But because I was very sure of who I am, I recognized that when I put my mind to something, I could do it. You're gonna have some delays, it will have some setbacks, but I will do it. I am somebody who delivers. I am somebody who's solution oriented. I'm somebody who can ask questions. If I don't understand something, I will ask somebody. If something not working out, I will ask somebody who knows about it better. Knowing who I am really helped me to push forward past a lot of limitations in my life in 2025. So I'm so thankful for that. It also made me realize that, again, going back to, people, that it's okay if people didn't see me the way I saw myself. If people thought that I was the villain in their story, I was actually okay with it. Because I know who I am, I'm all right. If you want to see me as a villain, that's fine. As a matter of fact, sometimes being a villain in the story helps your work to go easier. It's people who will not do any research, who are lazy to even think. So they will not bother to try to research about you, or they would not try to get to know you before they form an opinion. Somebody tell them something and they just go along with it. And I find that's laziness. But if that is who they are, fine. Whatever opinion you have of me, I know myself. And so I'm able to present as myself wherever I am. When you know who you are, you can flex like this because people would want to dilute you, want to put you in the little boxes and proclaim who you are based on what makes them comfortable. But you have to know who you are so that you can roll in any role, know your role and play it. It has some people who see you as the person you were 20 years ago. You're in midlife right now, you're in your 40s, you're going to 50, and have people who know you from way back when and will say, know you 20 years ago. And I say, you remember she said the panties, yeah. Remember you like, but yes. The person they're talking about does not exist right now. You are grown, you are mature, you are accomplished, achieved so much things over your life. You're qualified. If they want to be the one who's still counting on who you were 25 years ago, baby, you leave them people right there and you do what you need to do. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. You just have to put yourself in places where you are welcome, you are accepted and not tolerated. And don't be around these people who don't understand that you believe in growth and you have evolved. Now, let's say you're married to the person who look at you like that, or you're married to their family and the family still see you a certain type of way. Well, I don't know, spend Christmas somewhere else, girl. Christmas on a cruise. Or let's say it's people you work with for a very long time and they have seen you evolve. They they know that you have done the work, you've gotten qualifications, you've gone on courses, you've developed yourself. But the only way they can see is the same clerk that come in 30 years ago. You have a master's degree and they see you as a clerk that came in 30 years ago. The solution is to find spaces where people can understand your growth and appreciate your expansion. Find spaces, even if you have to stay in a job because this is Grenada. So let's say you can't lead the work. Volunteer somewhere else, start your own business, do things where you can be appreciated for everything that you are capable of. Because if you're not doing that, your capacity getting diminished by those people limited perception of you. A prophet is never accepted in his own nation. Familiarity breeds contempt. People who know you for too can't see your greatness, and that is not on you to prove to nobody. Know yourself, know what you're capable of, and put yourself in spaces that helps you to keep growing and expanding because you are not a piece of furniture. You are meant to grow and expand. Everything in God's creation grows and expands. Them trees grow and expand. Them plants grow and expand. Them animals expanding all over the place. They are colonies. You never see ants? Ants also have colonies. Okay? Don't nobody telling the ants, no, little ants, you're too small, you should not grow further. What do ant care about that? The ant build expansion, growth. That's what we know. That's what God creatures know. Okay, know yourself and keep going forward. All right? Good. The next thing that really came home this year was kindness over niceness. The kind thing to do is the best thing to do. Being nice, I find, is performative and polite. What does that solve? Does that solve anything? In our beautiful midlife, are we really looking for politeness and performative in our real true spaces, sis? I think not. What I found to be more rewarding for me, more elevating, was for me to be kind. And being kind meant that I showed genuine care for things. It also meant that I could not be everything for everybody. I can respect everyone, but I'm only human. I'm not going to be, woo, solve this problem over here. Solve this problem over here. Solve this problem, because people will always have some problem for you to solve. And at the end of the day, so you could spend your whole day helping somebody today. Tomorrow, please God, you tell them, I'm really busy, not trying to catch up with something. Suddenly, you're the villain. Well, we talk about being the villain already. So, I okay with being the villain. People have very short memories. Okay, they're TikTok size memories. I respect everybody, but my kindness is moderated. It is regulated. You have to get a key buzz to get to it. And that's what worked for me in 2025. Let's see what 2026 brings. Okay, the other thing that really was valuable for me is learning how to read the room. That was invented for a reason. At this age, we recognize that sometimes it's not what you say, but how you say it. It makes a difference when you're delivering a message, when you're delivering a truth, especially the hard truths, the tone that you deliver it in, your cadence, your energy that you bring towards it. It makes a difference. And so I believe the one of the many benefits of being at this age is recognizing that we've had more opportunities to interact with the human experience. So we know like certain things you say as ick people. And if you are truly interested in helping humanity to evolve, if you're truly interested in just building better relationships, and one of the topics of season to soar now is meaningful connections. If you really want to build on those, you have to be able to recognize how to read the room and communicate according to the room. Sometimes I need to slow down. Sometimes I need to be very somber. And there's certain times when people come, the energy that people come with, you have to, like, we're not playing today. We ain't playing. This is what needs to happen. This is not an artificial deadline. This thing had to happen today. Okay, we're going to do it today. We're not joking. But your tone and your kindness really, really, you can say the same thing, but just the tone, just the way your vocal variety works. And this is something we learn in Toastmasters. Again, if you want a new year habit to start, I would strongly endorse joining a Toastmasters near to you, and you can send me a DM. I'll hook you up with all the Toastmaster groups throughout Grenada right now, and I would always suggest Grenada Jams, which is the one that I'm associated. But it really helps you to understand how delivering your message in terms of how you use your voice and how you use your posture and how you use your individuality can make a difference in how your message is delivered. And communication is something that will always be important when we're dealing with human beings. So it's something worth thinking about, right? But read the room, know how to work the room if you're truly trying to be effective. And this is something that I leaned into in 2025. Major results, major success, just being able to do that. But the other thing that was super useful for me in 2025 was moving in silence. Privacy is key. Now, there's a difference between privacy and secrecy. Okay, that's something I know the Caribbean, Grenadian thing in us. There's no secret. We talk about people business anyway. We talk about people business wherever. That's just one of our many favorite pastimes. And to be honest, I think it's one of the ways that we keep safe. So I don't have a problem with people talking. But what I would say is when you are working on your big goals, especially when things are not gelled yet, be private. Like, be careful where you say it. Oh, you don't go and tell people, oh, just met this person and you're talking about a person, everything about a person. Like, wait to gel a little bit first. Or let's say you have a plan to start a business and you're suddenly talking to everybody about the business. Or you are planning to expand something, buy a house, do a car, something like that. And suddenly you're telling everybody about what you're doing. And what you're not recognizing is a few things. One, sometimes, especially when you have big ideas, a lot of people doubt it. Just the fact that they doubted that energetic thing where like they doubting it and they'll start telling, putting doubts in your mind, it make you less likely to pursue what you're doing. So they doubt it. The second thing is a lot of people don't want you to have it. So you're out here talking about and they go and they throw gravel in your eyes. And this is a real thing at our age. We had to recognize discernment is the better part of valor. Like you have to recognize that there are people who are talking in your face every single day and they don't like your big ambition. They don't like that you are the person who say, I want to get this thing done. I'm going to do it. They don't like that. They don't have the self-belief in their own self to go after it. So they don't want it for you. They don't want it for themselves, but they certainly don't want it for you. So now, that being said, for you to work anything, you need people. You can't do we live on an island, but we are not an island. So here's a workaround. Get around people who are also working on things, who will not be threatened when you say you have a big idea to change something, to do something, to go after something. Get around people who are also working on things, maybe on the same level as you, but who are growth oriented, who appreciate diversity, who appreciate ambition and wouldn't get thrown off by it. And this is one of the ways that my accountability group can help you, because in the accountability group, there are people who are all working on their goals, working towards things, and there's provision for you to bounce ideas off, because we all need people to discuss things with, right? When you have people working on it, you learn from them, they learn from you, and it's one of the amazing things about having this accountability group. If you are interested, the first session starts on the 20th of January, and registration link will be in the description of this episode. So you want to register for that. If you are that person who have the big ideas, but you need some help, you need some guidance, you need some support, you need a safe space, check it out and register now. We'll have a 20-minute clarity call and discuss if it's a good fit for you and we can move forward. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. All right. But yeah, move in silence as much as possible, because a lot of people doubt that you could do it, or they just don't want you to do it. Okay. The other thing that really served me this year is being decisive. You know what I realized? Indecisiveness is actually linked to a limited mindset. Because if you know that everything is going to work out, and if you know you have endless options, if you look at everything in God, it is endless. Like, God didn't make one tree, he make a 10,000 trees, he make a million trees. Like, he don't make one human being, make 8 billion of us. Nothing about him suggests limitations. And yet, we're here being afraid to make a move, or being afraid to make a decision, being afraid to choose. Once you understand that there's always a way out under grace and that everything is figure outable, you will find decisiveness coming a little more naturally. It's a very empowering thing to know what you want and to be able to say it. I understand that right now, it's never been harder to make decisions as a human being. We have so much options in everything. Options for shoes, options for clothes, options for people. The Bible say in the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. When you have too much options, you just feel like you end up doing shoppiness. So I get that if that is a reason for indecision. Trust that whatever decision you make, you will take the time to get the right information. You will trust your instincts, you will trust your intuition, and you'll keep moving forward. And if you make the wrong move, finding out the wrong move fast is the best thing. Make the move. Oh, this doesn't work. Okay, I'll pivot and I'll do something else. And not at all trying to make it feel like if that's easy. I know that takes some skill, but what I'm saying is being decisive really helped me this year. Like recognizing, listen, I would just go at this location. I would just make this call. I would just select based on the information I have right now. This is the decision I'm making. And it helped me in business. It helped me in my personal life. And I can tell you that I appreciate people who are decisive as well. Now, if you are needing support in decision making, again, the accountability group is really, really good for that. In week 4 of the accountability group, we discuss decision making and depth. So there are tools you can use to help you to improve your decision making process. There's techniques that can help you to move into clarity so that you're making consistent, decisive action. And we also touched a little bit on decision making in week 8, because week 8 is where we talk about being resilient, developing habits and skills and systems to support you to keep going when life happens, when stress flares up, when you have obstacles to overcome. So again, if you're interested in this accountability group, it's a wonderful resource. If you need additional help while you're achieving your goals for 2026, if you need guidance, it's a great place to be, and we'd love to have you. Okay. The next thing that I really leaned into, and it follows from this being decisive, is to take inspired action. So you can have all the information in the world. At some point, you have to be able to trust yourself to take decisive action. And this could be anything. It doesn't have to be in your career. It could be in your finances. It could be in your relationships. It could be in your attitude to self-care. I recognize I wasn't doing self-care as much as I want to. And 2025 was really good for me, like, in terms of my daughter graduated from high school. So that's like 16 years of growing up this human being, and seeing her successfully, coming out of high school. I was really proud, but it also meant that there were things that I need to change, because now that major responsibility of watching her grow up and monitoring every single thing she did wasn't necessary. And I recognized that while I was doing that for all those years, a lot of things got pushed back. So in terms of me being more relaxed or going to the beach during the weekdays, that wasn't something I was able to do all of the time, because I would have to pick up from school, or I had to get her here or get it there. For years this was the case. But now I had this brand new opportunity I had more time in my evenings. I could do things differently. And I recognize that instead of trying to squeeze my self-care into the weekends, I would choose a day in the week to do self-care. And so I had the beach, and I made a decision to take decisive action, to go to the beach more often, to take care of my skin, my hair, my everything, a lot more self-care pouring back into me. And taking that inspired action really helped me to just feel good and achieve really great results overall in every other thing. Because when you feel good, you act good, that whole thing, like everything just is good. It's Gucci. According to them children, it's Gucci. But apart from that, inspired action can look like asking for help from friends, or asking for help from a coach. It can look like taking action to start a business that you've been thinking about. And the final thing that really served me this year was meaningful connection. So I recognized that meaningful connections was showing up for someone. Sometimes it meant speaking up. Sometimes it meant shutting up. Sometimes it meant shutting down something. You're going to be in a room where people are going to be talking about somebody who you and the person good, or that what they're saying about a person is not true. And you know the truth. You're hearing somebody spewing lies, and you and say something, then you're not ready for meaningful connection. Because in this world, and this minute gradient is like a dot, and like everybody knows everybody. So please, if you're in a room and you're talking about somebody who you're supposed to be your friend, and you're hearing somebody trash talking them, and you're not doing anything about it, you're not saying, but that's not true. I'm just saying, you can simply say, but that is not my understanding of it. That is not why I hear. My favorite line is, no, no, no. But John Public didn't say this one. Or if you need to, shut it down completely. I've done this. I've heard people like talking about people and what they have and what they don't have, and if they broke. People are really willing to just run with shit, to be quite honest. And that's our age, the intelligence that we have, the wisdom we have, the experiences we have. All of us have had some hard times. All of us go through some hard times. If you ain't go through no hard times, then wonderful. Make sure you come to all of my events, okay? They're over $200. So you can spread the wealth around. Yeah. As far as I know, all of us been through some times where money was scarce, where we had our heart broken, where somebody did something embarrassing to us, where we would have had to question our own self and our self-worth. what the ass it benefits in you to go and sit down somewhere and bad talk and lambaste somebody else? What, I mean, everybody makes a little gossip on the kiki, but to the point where you hear somebody spewing lies, you know the truth, you hear somebody lying, and you would choose to pick up the lie and run with it instead of saying, nah, nah, man. That's not how we make meaningful connections. So I'm only interested in people who are interested in meaningful connection. So if this offends you, click off the video. They're not for you. Season to soar is not for you if you are somebody who don't understand what meaningful connection is. This community would maintain its integrity because it is for people who are interested in meaningful connection. There's a lot more to life than gossiping about other people. The people who get satisfaction, get a dopamine rush from gossip is because they never took the time to extend themselves or expand their mindset to recognize that life has so much more to offer. There's so much ways that you can find joy by service, by spending time with people and laughing, by working out, working on your body. Work on your body. Okay, you outside here talking about other people, and you know the last time you do some exercise and work on your mind, read. You ain't doing nothing to develop yourself, and you are out here having the audacity to talk about other people who developing themselves. Yeah, so meaningful connection was a thing that I really leaned into, and I'm still working on getting the phone communication going, but when it comes to face, I think meaningful connections really work there. And like take the ideas I have for my personal life into my business, like brunches and asking other people for help and connecting other people to other people and seeing other people develop relationships and organically just work together. It was a beautiful thing to experience, and I'm really thankful for all of the opportunities I would have had, from hosting all global breakfast to helping the kids at St. George's Anglican School with their creative day. And I want to thank Miss Sierra Mitchell for the opportunity, and just hosting the accountability group and watching the transformation of the women in the group. There was one client in particular who, when she started, she had had a number of priorities on her plate, so much at the beginning of the year, including a newborn baby, and she was just determined to get her life organized and streamlined. And at the end of the year, when I saw how she had developed, how she had, I mean, she's always an excellent person, but just the strength of her boundaries, the organization of how she got herself together, things that she put to, she reprioritized. She was able to do that. And she was able to recognize a lot of great results in her business, in her family, dedicated and intentional family time, dedicated and intentional self-care time. So she was able to delegate more in the various duties that she had. And looking at her now, it's such a beautiful story and of transformation. And I am just grateful that I was able to witness it and to facilitate that transformation and create a safe space, because creating safe spaces and meaningful connections is something that was always important for me. And so it was a bit of a fruition moment, so to speak. All right, guys. So that is it. This video went on really long, and I just really wanted to share with you all some of the things that I'm really thankful for 2025. And for the people who would have been with me, we're going to start having the weekly podcast coming back, have some amazing guests joining us and helping us to just navigate midlife in a way that helps us to feel empowered. That's it for tonight, guys. And I am so thankful for your support over the year and looking forward to working with you in the years to come. All right, guys. So remember that your joy is serious business. You're investing in it every day. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.